Okay, so Lithuanians Berbers, not really what we expected, but you know the players are bringing their A game. I mean, Jordan is actually sending his spear across the map instantly, and he sniped one of Kingstone's deer. So that's one less deer for Kingston to take, and also a little bit more decay on the deer because he had to take both of them with the vills. And the spear is just being super annoying. So it looks like Jordan is really focusing on the little things here and just trying to be as annoying as possible. Kingston does have his stable and his archery range already on the field, so he is producing military. He's going to be going forward a little bit faster, and Jordan opting for the double range approach he's got 7 on gold, so he's definitely just going to be making a ton of archers. I wonder if we're going to be seeing skirms from Kingston. Looks like, yes, skirms in the queue, and I'm assuming we're going to be seeing padded archer armor coming from him shortly.
Turn off the music here. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with enclosed, it looks like a little apple core in the center with really good wood, and you're not able to wall through the stone area, so that's why people often wall their wood and their town centers with their farms, and the golden berries are a little bit left to fend for themselves. And Lithuanian Jordan here going for lots of archers if he feels at some point in time the skirmishers are too much to handle, but I mean, Kingstone has some scouts on the field. So I don't know if skirmishers would be the best transition for Jordy, but his skirms and spear line do walk 10% faster, so they're a little speedy. So both civilizations here have a little bit of a speed boost. Berber villagers are a little bit speedier as well. They walked, 10% faster, so that's a nice little eco bonus for them. And in the meantime, Jordan's going to have some nice micro here, picking off some archers for free.
Yeah, Kingston making a bit of a micro mistake there. I think he tried to click them back into his base or something, and they pathed the other way, and they just kind of went into Jordan's army. Losing a couple of archers early is pretty bad. Kingston will have skirmishers by the time these archers get to his base. So it's not really that big of an issue, and both players are just going to go up to Castle Age here. Now, the problem for Kingston is that this crossbowman army, well, it's going to be a crossbowman army. It's going to go straight across the map. It's going to hit that timing. Even though Kingston is going to know about it, he's going to be a little bit later to Castle Age, so he might take some damage from this. We're just going to have to wait and see. Archer armor coming in, and Kingston might be able to push this back.
Yeah, well, the good news for Kingstone is he has a little bit of time. Jordan pulling back for a little bit. I guess he does not want to engage in any skirmishers. No need for him to take the fight. As archers, taking a fight versus skirmishers is a little questionable, but once you get your botkin and upgrades for crossbowmen, then feudal skirmishers aren't so scary, and it would be not the worst trade for him. And Jordan wants to be a little bit defensive. He knows he has the advantage because he has killed so many of Kingstone's units, and Kingstone is a little bit on the back foot here. He does get the cheaper knights and camels available to him, so they're a little bit, 15% off in Castle and 20% cheaper in Imp. So that might be a nice little boost that Kingstone needs to go for to clean up crossbows. Or do you think it's going to be elite skirmishers?
Potentially, yeah. You know what Berbers also has access to is the Genitor, which is a pretty cool unit we don't really see too much. But with that extra movement speed, you can get in on those enemy units and force engagements. But what we are seeing is knights, as you said, but these crossbowmen are in 10 seconds until the upgrades come in, and that is going to do damage because Kingston is not going to be ready for this.
No, his villagers at the berries are expose here. He's sending his skirmishers over. Yeah, they're not going to be elite, so the crossbows will be able to take them out decently quickly. And he's picking up bloodlines, so that was time that his stable was not producing knights. He has 0 knights on the field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was up a little bit later anyways, so he couldn't start producing knights until a little later. Now, Kingston is getting maybe a little lucky here. He hasn't lost any vills yet. He will likely lose a couple of these vills, maybe 3 of them even, but Jordan not really paying enough attention here and kind of missing an opportunity. He kills a knight.
Kills a Bill, kills a Knight. It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah, only one villager dying was not what I was expecting here. I was expecting quite a few more to go down there. So, little bit of missed micro by Jordan, I would say, but also good micro by Kingston to get those villagers out of there. And the Knights are in. They only have +1s, so they're not that strong. And Jordan, he is going to take the fight here. But with those few skirmishers in the back, those skirmishers are helping a lot. Even though they're unupgraded,
yeah.
they
No, it's
still
really
kill.
lucky. And the fact that he got that town center up on the gold in the back is perfect. That is really, really lucky for him. And Jordan, he still doesn't have ballistics, so villagers running away are going to be immune to the arrow. Well, not immune, but they're going to have a really, really nice... they're going to be vaccinated versus the arrow shots. So let's put it that way. And yeah, not too much damage done in terms of the economy, but Jordan is idling. So even though Kingstone isn't raiding and killing vills, the villager count remains the same.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of Kingston's knights just wasn't really engaging in that fight, and he wanted to pick off all of those crossbowmen, and it just couldn't happen. And some of these crossbowmen are pretty weak, so I think that Jordan is going to have to probably just boom it out. He's going to add some more crossbowmen, but he's just adding a little bit. Jordan adding a 3rd TC now, so I think both players are pretty happy to just boom a little bit. The Kingston might be a little late adding another TC here. I believe he sold his stone, and just spamming knights with berbers is probably a pretty good play here, but he does have to do damage. If Jordan's gonna add a 3rd TC, then Kingston does have to do damage if he's only on 2 TC. And well, we'll see what these knights can do. There's no +2 coming in quite yet. Kingston opting for the bowsaw upgrade instead of +2 armor. So he's not going to be able to run under TCs with these knights, but he will be able to maybe pick off some exposed villagers, although we don't see really any exposed villagers for Jordan, so it's going to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and you know what? The monks for Lithuanians are really, really strong. And well, in general, they have a pretty open tech tree, but also with every relic Lithuanians have, it's +1 attack on their knight and lightest line. And if Jordan picks up, say, 2 relics in Castle Age and has iron casting to boot, then his knights will be +4, and then they'll be trading really decently even versus camels.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and he's already got 1 relic.
Yeah, well, the monks are coming out and bringing in their relics, but, you know, Kingston is also bringing in the relics too. So, obviously, on this kind of map, it's just kind of like Hideout in that the game can go a little bit longer, so taking the relics is what both players are really thinking about. And if you know your opponent has a relic bonus, then it's good to try and deny them the relics by taking them yourself.
Jordan already has 2.
Yeah,
and,
well,
does he have
was pretty
visuals
fast to
on
get
the
those.
last relic?
Yeah, where is it? I think maybe...
A monk is already bringing it home, maybe?
Yeah, I actually don't see it. I know that, like, one of the monks is bringing it. Oh, yeah, he has both coming in. So, yeah, Jordan is going to have +4 attack from relics, which is nuts. Yeah. And is he starting to add in knights? Yeah, he has a few knights. Some of these knights are just converted knights from Kingston, but...
And you know what? He still hasn't even picked up forging. So forging and iron casting still available to him to give even more strength to his knights. That's too much power, but Mr. Kingstone, he's adding a TC on stone. He wants to be the king of stone. And maybe we'll see some castles, and then we'll have to transition into those camel archers. I think camel archers probably one of the strongest, like, camel archer hussar for Kingstone.
Yeah,
is that a late game really good strong combo?
That's their late game, that's for sure, from Berbers. That's what they would love to get to a lot of the time. And Kingston, you know, he's a little later adding the 3rd TC, but with this 4th TC, his eco is going to be a little bit ahead. Looking at the eco techs, he had bowsaw a lot earlier as well, so Jordan may be going to fall behind a little bit here, but there is definitely something to be said for +4 attack on the knights.
For sure. And Jordan is now adding his 4th town center himself, also on some stone. Villager count, not too far ahead for Kingstone, but he will have his 4th TC rolling for a little bit longer, so maybe he can pull ahead in a few vills there. He's already up by 3, and he's a little bit lagging behind in military numbers. Value for Jordan a little bit higher. You can see here almost 2,500 versus 1,000 there for Kingstone. So he's going to need to ramp up his production. And the good news for him is, like we already mentioned, his knights are a little cheaper. And he's going to need to start producing some military and lots of it.
Yeah, both players, they're pretty much at the point in their boom where they can maintain the TCs, so now it's time to either go Imp or spam a lot of military and Castle Age. And, you know, going Imp can be a little bit of a risky play, because if your opponent spams Castle Age military, like, if Kingston were to try to go Imp here, he would just probably die, because this army is on his front door, and he doesn't have a castle to protect himself or anything. There's still a hole in his front as well, so these knights could just run in. And that could be a little bit sketchy. Is Jordan gonna go for it, though?
Oh, yeah. You know what we do with holes on these channels? Lug 'em. So that is, well, I mean, that's a gaping hole over here. But he also has five monks with him, and that could be really detrimental to Kingstone's 6 camel rider population. I would be very, very unfortunate to have all of those converted. But camels are not known for their pierce armor. They have a lot less pierce armor than knights do built in. So even though Kingstone is picking up his 2nd defense armor, the camels will still struggle versus arrow fire. And Jordan has 10 crossbows with Bobkin. So we do have a very scary army. We have crossbows, we have knights, and we have monks that are healing the whole operation.
Yeah, and Jordan is harassing with some knights in the back of Kingston's base, and I wonder if is he even gonna notice? There's so much going on. There's harass in the top. Yep. Well, I mean, not in the base though. Like Kingston is losing all of his wood line.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Ellie's blind. Yeah, oh my goodness. We've got 6 kills for this knight, 4 of which eco, and this guy's got another 3 kills under his belt, but Kingstone finally noticed, and he's going to just garrison. He's still not too far behind with the villager count, though, so we have to give him some credit as he's adding a 5th town center.
Yeah. And the eco is pretty much the same here for both players. So yeah, raids are coming in, but it's not really gaining Jordan as much of a lead. He hasn't killed like 20 villagers or anything. How many has he killed? He's killed 11, which is pretty good, but it's not enough to win him the game here. But I don't think Jordan's trying to completely win here.
He's still maintaining a villager lead, in fact, and he's not so behind in military. It's just I feel Kingstone has a lot of knights. Luckily for him, actually, Jordan didn't have Iron Castic in, but Jordan just picked up Forging, so that's going to give a little bit more strength to Jordan's knights. Now they have +5.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
All right.
Yeah, Lithuanians do lack Blast Furnace, so they missed the final 2 attack upgrades, but with 4 relics, Jordan is fine. He's a golden boy. Fight being taken in the center, and it could go either way.
Yeah, I think that Jordan will kind of win any fight here with the Super Knights.
Yeah.
It's not really like
I was thinking maybe because he has home advantage and he can reinforce a little bit faster, and maybe he could bring up. But yeah, Jordan had his monks and the super Lithuanian camels, and Mr. Kingstone realizes it's all over.
Yeah, that fight was just not one that Kingston wanted to take there, but he felt like he was forced to take it because all these units were camping his gold, camping some of his farming eco. So yeah, just those Lithuanian knights, 10+5 at the moment, just absolutely shredding.
Yeah, really, really nice play here for Jordan. Very patient, waiting to get such a huge mass. And I like the monk play. The relics obviously helping him out big time. Not only do they generate gold, of course, but also provide that really nice power boost to his knights. Great numbers. Crossbow defending from behind. Can't complain.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a look at the statistics here. We just see that Jordan, I mean, in the end, he was just completely dominant here.
Stars all around.
Yeah, the Lithuanian army just kind of destroys. Like, why have camels when you have super knights that kill everything? So that was his plan, and it seemed to work out there. The economy was pretty okay for most of the game, but yeah, just in the end there was a little bit of a disaster.
Yeah, I'm looking at the military and like the last second forging before the resignation. Oh no. Oh, it's so that breaks my little heart. My cold little heart broken. Ay, ay, ay. Well, Mr. Jordy with the military high here, more conversions. The Relic's obviously really, really good for him as well. Villagers, Jordy had more in the end. Clicky clicks pretty close together, but Jordy clicking a little faster in more of the correct places. So well played. And we're going to move on to the next game. Going for the double range here one more time. Kingstone is going to go with the range too.
Yeah, looking at the fish, it kind of looks like Kingston has a little bit more fish in his area.
Well, he has
like...
single ones, a lot of single ones. I think Jordy has a little bit more doubles.
Yeah, maybe it's a little hard to see, but it just kind of seems like there's a little bit more over there. But not always the biggest deal, because these games can go pretty quickly, just depending on the start. Because if you get taken off a fish, it's like almost over at the start.
Yeah, so Kingstone here, he's doing the same thing he did last time. Range and a stable, and he is ready to go. He's got his scouts queued up. Playing as Magyars, you do get foraging for free, and your scouts are a little cheaper, so it's a little bit more affordable for you. And Jordan as Kumans has the opportunity to be making a second TC, and he's got a lot of wood. Do you think we'll see a second TC?
I mean, it's definitely on the table here.
He's walling.
Float that kind of wood. Yep. So if he's gonna wall up this side, it means that, well, obviously he doesn't want to lose the fish, but maybe he'll get a TC on fish even.
Yeah, on the fish in the wood line maybe. Oh my goodness!
It's kind of unlikely though.
We got excited. We got a little too overexcited there.
It's so important to add more military at this stage. Like, maybe he wants to do it, but I don't know. It's a bit of a risky play here.
Well, he is going for more walls, and that's a lot of investment. So if he's going to be walling up, it sounds like the next step is booming. You know, the wall up and boom strategy, but a villager goes down, Jordy. You've got 3 Magyar scouts with forging in tow here. The spear is going to pick off one and weaken another. Ay, ay, ay. But now there's 2 archers nearby, and suddenly this spear has lost his confidence. But Mr. Jordan replying with a watchtower that I'm not sure he'll be able to get up very soon, because more scouts are sent the way. Another villager goes down. Will another one die? Survive?
I can't keep up, because also Jordan is doing the exact same thing in Kingston's base. And, I mean, it looks like Kingston was a little bit, his aggression was a little stronger here, but Jordan's still putting the pressure, forcing a tower, and also forcing a ton of idle time.
Yeah. Kingstone forcing a tower as well, but Jordan hasn't finished the tower. I say when it's 50% up, maybe you still make it. Maybe he's thinking he can delete it if he did want to get that second TC up. Judging by the amount of wood he's floating, I think a second town center is in the pipeline somewhere. But we have 2 more villagers for Kingstone overall. A little bit more idle time, but still, in the grand scheme of things, Kingstone, his economy looking slightly good, but the military is spooky.
Yeah. Jordan's just been floating that amount of wood pretty much the entire game, so I don't know if he wants to save it for a mill or something, or maybe he just needed to take some bills off of wood. Maybe he just has it for a rainy day, I don't know, but I mean, it's like, it's hard to say what he's gonna do here. There's a lot of military, though. It's not like he needs a second TC for defense. But the thing with the second TC in Empire Wars is that you can get up to Castle Age so fast and just make multiple, like, more TCs. So going for the Feudal TC just gives up map control, gives up army, and then your opponent just booms on 3 TCs.
Yeah, so even though Jordan has a lot stronger army in terms of, like, the numbers and value with the gold units, the Kingstone has a direct counter. He's got lots of skirmishers, but keeping these skirmishers in scout production is costing him a lot of food, and that's a problem if he does want to make it eventually to Castle Age. Jordan going to be quite happy to pump out mostly just a food and gold unit here, and he's making another watchtower. So he deleted his over here, making it a little over there, and along with this tower go the dreams of a second TC right now, because you do need 100 stone for another town center, and he did not have that at the moment.
Yeah, these skirmishers are not really what Kingston really wants here, because archers and scouts definitely beats scouts and skirmishers, just almost every time, just with some good micro. This tower is a little on the aggressive side. I don't know about this one. We've got bloodlines, but...
Oh, yeah, losing some villagers there. Very, very painful. He is mining stone, right? He's been mining on stone for a little while. But these villagers, it's a lot of idle time that they had to go to come to the tower. Now they got to run back. Meanwhile, Jordy picked up forging as well, so his knights or scouts are just as upgraded as Kingstone's in terms of his attack. But Kingstone did pick up bloodline, so he has a little bit more HP to work with.
Yeah. The only thing that Kingston really needs is a mass. Like, he just needs even more. With enough scouts, they'll just dominate in Feudal Age, everything. But 5 spears coming forward for Jordan, so he's just not going to give him a chance. And I wonder if we're going to see...
And forging is an attack that benefits spears as well. It's infantry and cavalry, so it's a nice little twofer.
Yeah, we might need to see a second tower from Kingston coming in somewhere. But for now, it's not like you can get it up on the front there. There's still a little bit of fish in the back, but that's a lot of villagers just walking around doing nothing. Looking at the worker efficiency.
Yeah, it's dropping. It's 37 and dropping like fast.
Half. Exactly.
He still is fine with the villager count. It's still 48, but it's just the efficiency is a little lackluster. And exactly, Jordan's castling.
Exactly, no food in the bank for Kingston, and this army just can't really be cleaned up. The skirmishers are going to be pretty good, but I mean, it's not enough. They don't have armor, so they still die to the archers here a little bit, and Jordan can just leave at any time as well.
Well, I mean, Jordan is a little trapped per se. I mean, he could leave if he wanted to, yeah, but I mean, at least at least Kingstone knows the rest of his economy is safe, at least. And he's pumping more and more scouts into the mix, but he knows he doesn't have enough to deal with this army, and he's just going to say GG. And Jordy?
Yeah. Those are some quick games here. Yeah, I mean, Jordan just showing why he's considered to be one of the best here. And, I mean, Kingston, he's still pretty solid. He apparently had some pretty good games against Viper. I didn't catch them because I was on the A stream, and... It's a lot, but yeah, just not really quite on the ball here today, it looks like.
Well, you know what? He's still going to come home with quite a bit of prize money, even for making it into the event, and he gets the amazing experience of being in Germany and meeting all of the pro scene, or many of the pros in the pro scene, and getting that experience. He is, I believe, relatively young, and... I think he's got a really bright AoE 2 career ahead of him.
For sure. Yeah, we haven't really... Has he really participated in any big tournaments? I'm not so sure.
I think this might be his first S tier.
Yeah.
Like this far in the process. I'm sure he's... was in the qualifiers for others. But correct me if I'm wrong. We can check out his Wikipedia page. He also streams on Twitch, by the way. Jordan as well, if you don't know them. Do check out their streams. I believe Kingston mostly in Spanish, as far as I'm concerned. But you can still enjoy his game play, even as a non-Spanish speaker. But yeah, stars all around for Jordy with the military economy, technology, really solid aggression. It was nice.
Yeah, we haven't really seen this map go very long, so I think we can kind of expect shorter games on this map. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing here. Not a lot of players just playing super defensive or anything like that. Both players trying to just throw everything they have at each other, and just one of them always comes out ahead.
Yeah, and then, you know, we had more villagers, and they're working a little bit more efficiently for Jordan, so he had quite a few more res collected and explored nicely. One more villager actually for Kingston, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Clicky clicks were the same, but Jordy clicking in the right places. So well played. And that means Jordan is still in the running to be America's next top model. And potentially win the tournament.
Potentially, yeah. Jordan's looking really strong, though. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see his next matches as well.